Jon S Sports channel, and today it is the League One review, and we're going to go straight to Barnsley, where Barnsley won 2-0 against my team, Rotherham United. 60% possession to Barnsley, 17 shots, 6 on target, 2 goals, well, 4 goals really, 2 of them were disallowed for offside, which they were, which is pretty good, pretty good going really. Rotherham's defence just stood there like skittles and let the Barnsley attack just weave away around them and pop it in the back of the net. That's about as best I could put it. 42% possession to Rotherham, 10 shots. I don't know where from, but hey, it says 10 shots. 1 on target. Wow. The substitute. The really good attempt. That really good block on the line by the Barnsley goalkeeper. Was it a fair score? No, it should have been at least 4-0. Rotherham played dreadful. I don't think I just can't see where the 10 shots came from. It was lacklustre, dull, depressing from the Rotherham point of view. From the Barnsley point of view, they played really well, and they played with determination. There was skill there. There was accuracy on passing, and they knew that they knew what they could do to just stretch the Rotherham players apart and just produce gaps and just pass them through. As far as the game plan was concerned, Barnsley had one. They ran with it. It worked extremely well. Rotherham didn't have a game plan. They don't seem to have a playing style. In fact, they don't even have style. And it was a correct way round anyway. Barnsley 2, Rotherham 0. So what did we say? We actually said Barnsley 2, Rotherham 0. I got it right. I got the right score and the right result. I get 2 gold stars for that. Yes, thank you very much for all those people who were saying that Barnsley were going to win. You were absolutely spot on. And we will move to Saturday's games, and we go into the next one, which is Burton versus Shrewsbury Town. So Burton versus Shrewsbury, and Burton Albion. I did think that they've started to put some really good games together. Orsey's second goal, I loved it. I mean, it was low and it was still curling. I mean, how on earth did he get a curler on that from such a low height off the ground? It was brilliant. It just curled round at about 2 foot off the ground, just round and bouncing in the net, and you're thinking, I've not seen one curled from such a low height. It was brilliant, and he really did have a couple. I think he had 1 or 2 really great shots after that, and you're thinking, he can really play, can't he? And Kalinauskas can. He wasn't going to let him get away with the best the best shots. He was in there as well, and you're thinking, Burton Albion have something to improve on, something to play with there. 46% possession, 12 shots, 5 on target, 2 goals. Shrewsbury Town went out of it. 54% possession, but and 12 shots also, but only 2 shots on target and no goals. There was a couple of really key saves in there, and you think this really could have gone either way, could have been a draw. I think it was a fair result for Burton Albion. They had a couple of, like I say, Kalinauskas and Orsey were just standing out, 2 players for me. And I absolutely now think that Burton Albion, they were in 24th. They're not going to be down there for too long. 23rd now. They've gone from 24th to 23rd. 8 points. Okay, they're 6 points away from Leyton Orient in 20th. However, we're about a third of the way through the season. You know, they really are showing signs now, aren't they, of really buckling up and starting to play well. Shrewsbury Town, you know, they showed signs of being good. They showed signs that they could play really well. They had the possession, they just didn't transfer it. If they could transfer that possession into shots on target rather than just shots, then yeah, they could do quite well. And I think I said that last time, yeah, but they just need to turn some of those shots to shots on target. And if they do, they're joining that bottom 8, 10, 8, 9 teams, including Rotherham, who would all then be battling against those bottom 4 drop places. So what did we get? We got Burton 2, Shrewsbury 0. We said Burton 1, Shrewsbury 0. And we get another goal start. And we're rocking here. Now, let's go for the next one. And I'm not quite sure we'll get this one right, guys. But it's Wrexham versus Mansfield. So what happened there? So Wrexham 39% possession, again quite low. It usually is. 12 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. Pretty good, eh? Mansfield Town 61% possession, 15 shots, 4 on target, no goals. I will say this: there should have been 2 penalties in the first half. The Mansfield one was absolutely obvious. The goalkeeper went for the feet, and the ball was never touched at all. He never went for the ball, and he went for the player, and the player went down, and it should have been a penalty. But then in the same half, you got the Wrexham guy going down, and the Mansfield guy clearly had a handful of shirt in front of him, yanking him down. Another penalty. So, in all honesty, it was probably fair. I think that Mansfield did turn up the heat, and they did really do very, very well. And they could have. They'll probably be the fans that felt most hard done by, because they really should have equalised in that second half. They had a couple of really cracking shots. That the one that bounced off the bar and then off the floor and out again, and then it went back in another shot, and went back in the third shot. And you're thinking, hell, it's just not going to fall for them today, is it? I mean, that's all you can say. But Mansfield did find a way past that back 5 that Wrexham do. They just couldn't put it in the net. Wrexham, on the other hand, they just seemed to be playing with the ball. They really did have fun with the ball. It looked like they were just so much so higher. They were in a higher league. They were just in a higher league, and it's showing. What did they get? It was Wrexham 1, Mansfield 0. We said Wrexham 3, Mansfield 3. We thought it might be a bit closer than this and a bit more high scoring. We were totally wrong, weren't we? No, I mean, there were several of you that thought Wrexham would win, but you were all saying by a lot more goal. There were a lot more goals in it. So we'll have to move on from that, and we'll go to the best game of the week, isn't it? It's the most obvious one of the lot. This is Birmingham versus Northampton. This is a Birmingham win, isn't it? Wasn't it? Hey. I think there were a few fans that were a bit gobsmacked at this. That's a Yorkshire term. Birmingham. Well, I think it is Birmingham 1, Northampton 1, and either team could have won this. Northampton had at least one cleared off the line. Birmingham. I mean, it almost looked like Birmingham were being drawn into this bottom third style Hackett football of League One. There was no style in there, no class whatsoever. And I thought that the Birmingham's class just didn't show through. It was almost like, Northampton came there to just disrupt everything and make them play dirty football. Well, not dirty as in nasty, dirty as in rough and ready, bottom third of the league style football. No class to it, no real determination, no style, no class, no plan, no planning even. I could have been watching Rotherham, my God. But they just didn't have any. No, they didn't seem a class above Northampton, and Northampton did a really good job of disrupting them, and to nick it in 90 plus 6 minutes. But see, they'd had one clear, at least one cleared off the line. Pinnock did a really good. That was a good goal. Was there a foul just before? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it looked like it, but did he just get in his way? And that's what the referee obviously thought. They just got in with each other's way. Jay Stansfield's goal, just to add what we were saying about it being a sort of really rough and ready game. Even that was a sort of scramble over the line. It wasn't really it wasn't one of his marvellous goals. It wouldn't be one that he's going to remember for the rest of the season, certainly. So Birmingham won, Northampton won. 78% possession to Birmingham. But you know something? I actually think that was a fair result. For the amount of work Northampton put in there, and for the amount of goals that each one had on shots, each one had on target, 3-3. You know, it was actually a fair result, and good on Northampton. Northampton fans may even be feeling a bit annoyed that they didn't win it, because you know they had that at least that one chance off the line. That was really, really, really close, wasn't it? What did we say? Yeah, obviously what we said. We said Birmingham 3, Northampton 0. Oh boy, were we wrong. There wasn't one person there wasn't even a person who said it was going to be a draw or Northampton. So it was all Birmingham wins. So we'll have to just lick his wounds there and move. Let's move on to Bristol Rovers versus Lincoln, shall we? Oh, please. Now, of course, we thought Lincoln in 5th would find it not so easy against Bristol Rovers in 17th, but they would probably be just enough to class and style and momentum in the league to be able to beat off Bristol City away from home. And it was Bristol City 1, Lincoln 1, and we thought it was going to be Bristol City 1, Lincoln 2. So it was actually quite an even game. Lincoln had more shots and more on target. I mean, it's 54% to Bristol Rovers, 8 shots, 1 on target, 1 goal. Yeah, they got that one on target in the net, which is good for them. 46% possession to Lincoln City. Yeah, that's a surprise to me. That I thought they'd have owned the pitch a little bit more. 12 shots though, 3 on target, 1 goal. Probably about right on the lower end, but you know, okay for a sort of mid table finish, which is not what they're wanting. It was an okay game for me. I think Lincoln City didn't deserve any more than a draw. I don't think Bristol Rovers deserved any more than a draw either. I think it's probably a reasonable result for the game. Was it a good one for the connoisseur? No. Was it a good one for a neutral? Okay, it would have been okay for a neutral, I suppose, but it was a bottom half League One game for me. Top of the bottom half perhaps, but that's just the sort of style and class that came out. So they were in 17th and 5th. I mean, now Lincoln is still 5th, and Bristol Rovers went from 17th to 16th. So I don't think either fans would be too disgruntled, and we can take that one on the chin and move to Crawley versus Huddersfield and see how I did there, which is actually not so bad as we think. What did I say about Crawley? What did I say? I said Crawley Town could do this. They could nick a draw. Just be careful. And I put it in my notes. Look, 1-1. They could draw this one quite easy. I did think it would be 1-1, but hey, Crawley Town 2, Huddersfield Town 2, and 44% possession to Crawley. 3 shots, which is not usual. They usually shoot quite often, but just don't get it on target. 3 shots, 2 on target, just what I was asking for. A bigger percentage on target, and 2 in the net. Brilliant. That's what I wanted. That's what I said could happen. They put more of that bigger percentage in the actual on target. They could get some goals here. I didn't expect the total number of shots to go down quite so big, but hey, this is good. Um, and Huddersfield Town, 56% possession, 12 shots, 6 on target, 2 goals. This was a game with one thing that really, really stood out for me all the way through the game. Certainly in that first half, as I was watching it with the listen along, which I do hope some people come to this Saturday, because I think we may get rid of it. Was the fact that neither team wanted to keep the ball. Every 2 or 3 passes at most. 2 passes, lose the ball. 2 passes, lose the ball. 1 pass, lose the ball. And it was getting annoying in the first half. And then in the second half, we started seeing them throw themselves on the floor for no reason at all and hope they get a free kick. Both sides. So it was getting a little bit annoying. They're not able to keep the ball, throwing themselves on the floor. Other than that, this was a really good game to watch. Definitely one for the connoisseur, definitely one for the neutral. I loved it. The crowd, I loved the crowd. The crowd were really behind. Well, both sets of fans were behind their team, and it was a really good game. Did either team deserve to win? I mean, you'd look at the stats and you'd say Huddersfield. I actually think a draw was a fair result. Although Huddersfield fans will be the ones to walk away feeling a little bit more aggrieved by the fact that they had 6 shots on target and only managed to score 2. But that's actually not a bad percentage, guys, really, is it? So Crawley Town 2, Huddersfield 2. We said Crawley 1, Huddersfield 2, but then said, watch this. This could be a 1-1. I'll get half a star for that. I'm going to nick half a star for that one, and we're going to quickly move on to Exeter versus Charlton. So where was that technical prowess of Charlton? They've showed so much that they could do the technical stuff really well at the beginning of the season, and then in the last 5-6 games, it just seems to have died out. And there was 2 open nets there that they really should have scored. One footed it in, scored. The second one a header. Well, quite an open net, but it was at least get it on target. Exeter 48%, 13 shots from that. Pretty good. 1 on target, 1 goal. Ouch. They should have been doing this. They've really got to get more goals from those on target. More balls on target than out of those 13. They really do. You've got to get at least 2 or 3. But they did score the one that they shot on target, so that was good. Charlton 52%, 13 shots, same amount. 1 on target, again, same amount. Hey, this is weird, but Charlton scored none of their 1. I mean, I just felt that the Charlton fans here would be going home really disappointed that technical ability just didn't show. Exeter have been able to show good quality. I mean, they're in 11th. They've been playing really well. They've been outshining a lot of teams when they were expected not to. I think a draw would have been fair here, and the stats show a draw would have been fair. And I think realistically, when you look at it, a draw would have been fair. But so the Charlton fans will be going home feeling a little bit battered and bruised, and I know we should have got at least something from it, sort of feeling. But Exeter fans, you sat there, you dug in. There were a couple of moments where you really let Charlton through that back end, and that they caught you on the break, and it was usually the Charlton breaking, and that could have been the downfall of Exeter, but by look of the roll of the green, it wasn't. Exeter 1, Charlton 0. We said Exeter 3, Charlton 3, because Charlton really can be really good, and Exeter have been showing that they're really good. Um, shows you how wrong we've been so far. Leighton Orient versus Blackpool. Let's see if we can get anything from the Leighton Orient versus Blackpool game. I think a neutral might have enjoyed this game. I just 59% possession to Blackpool, 14 shots, 3 on target, no goals. 42% to Orient, 16 shots, 7 on target, and 3 goals. That's bloody good. And I tell you what, I put that down to Blackpool's defence. Where was it? I mean, where the hell did it go? The first 2 goals, it was like either 2 or 3 defenders somewhere there, sort of like just standing around or running in the right direction and making it look like they were doing something. I just don't know where they were. And they've got to stop doing that. That back end was just opened up far too easily for Leighton Orient to just walk through it. That third goal wasn't. That was a lot better. That was more classy. But the first 2 were certainly just, we'll let you walk through. Although the third one was, in part, let's give the ball away and let them walk into the box and walk round our defenders and then, slide it sideways. Back out, back in, and okay. At least the defenders were doing something. Leighton Orient 3, Blackpool 0. Let's just continue, because I think we said 0-0 because we couldn't see either of them scoring many goals, and yet because of the Blackpool defence doing what it did, Leighton Orient ended up finding it quite easy. And that was another one that we'd like to forget. How many did anybody actually say 3-0? Somebody said 3-1. Whoever said 3-1 gets a bloody big gold star, because that one isn't. I wouldn't. No, I don't think anybody was really thinking it was going to be that big. So yeah, really good. Well done to that person. I move to Peterborough versus Cambridge, and we may not have got this one right by just a little margin. Oh dear. Yeah, oh dear. Peterborough 55% possession, 12 shots, 9 on target, 6 goals. That is good. That's what we expected at the beginning of the season from Peterborough. Poku's not where he is in the scoring chart for no reason at all. It's that defence that's been a bit iffy for me. But Cambridge, 45% possession, 11 shots, and 3 of them on target, 1 goal. That's actually not bad, especially for the bottom, for where they are in the league. I don't think they played badly. They just played too far up the pitch, and they just there was a class between them, wasn't there? Really, and it showed. It showed, didn't it, on Saturday? So, Peterborough 6, Cambridge 1. We said Peterborough 0, Cambridge 1, thinking that Cambridge were doing really well, and that enthusiasm and that sort of how well they've been doing in the last few games would take them on for one more win. There were people saying 4-2. So good. The ones that said 4-2, yeah, I think you'll get a nice gold star for that. That was really well thought out by you lot. 6-1. No, we said Peterborough 0, Cambridge 1. Yeah, once again we move on. Stevenage versus. I need some better calls from you lot, I think. Please give me your comments down below, because some of the comments I've been getting, not so great. Not so great, especially with the Peterborough Cambridge one. Stevenage versus Reading. So Stevenage 1, Reading 1, and I was disgusted by that referee. The number of times Stevenage were pulling shirts and yanking them to the ground, and you're thinking, oh, come on, you've got to give a yellow for at least one of them. And the Reading's goal, it was being yanked down on the right wing so many times, and it's so bloody obvious. The guy, even the Stevenage player, even went, "Oh, it's not me." No. He's like, nobody else. There's nobody around him. So the only reason why he did this was because, oh no, ref, oh no, I've not done it. It's in the box, but I've not done it. Oh, for heaven's sake, just bad sportsmanship. That's all it is. Just bad sportsmanship, poor refereeing. Um, I just think that Stevenage, in any decent league, Stevenage would have got a red card at some point during that game, because it was from a Stevenage standpoint, that was a dirty game. That wasn't football. That was a mixture of wrestling and football. Reading were okay. I just don't think that there was much in between these, footballing wise, between these two sides. I think on the whole, Reading deserved to win it more on the grounds that they didn't seem to be doing any of the shirt pulling from what I saw, but I might be totally incorrect. But from what I could see, the shirt pulling was mainly coming from the Stevenage end. 35% possession to Stevenage, 7 shots, 2 on target, 1 goal. 66% possession to Reading, 9 shots on target out of 22. They really should have put more goals in than just 1. They did deserve to win, absolutely, and I think they'll be the ones going home thinking, we should have done more than that. Yeah, didn't like the game. I thought that the shirt pulling and the play from Stevenage was poor enough to warrant a that ruined it for me tag. So Stevenage 1, Reading 1. We said Stevenage 0, Reading 0, so we got the right result. We just didn't get the right score. So that was good, even if the game wasn't. And we move on to Stockport versus Bolton. This is actually one of those games, Stockport-Bolton, that the stats really don't show the game, do they? Bolton, 61% possession, 5 shots, none on target. I don't know where they got the 61% possession. Stockport County, 39% possession, 15 shots, 10 of them on target, 5 in the net. Absolutely outstanding. And they were playing with such... Although I think the word blasé comes to mind in that second half. They were just sort of like... the crowd was doing the old bull hole trick, weren't they? And the passing was just so bang, bang, bang. Oh, come on, try and get the ball from us. Boom, boom. And it was absolute. It was absolute class. I enjoyed it. I didn't expect it of Stockport at the beginning of the year. I will be the first to say I didn't expect this from Stockport, but they proved me wrong. They can play some really good football. They were in 10th. I mean, where are they now? They're now in 6th place. Yeah, and they look like being the ones that to those outsiders to just keep an eye on. Along with Wycombe, we didn't expect Wycombe to be up there either. So there's a couple of teams up there, isn't there, that we really didn't expect. And yeah, I think Stockport 5, Bolton 0. I don't really think Bolton ever really looked like scoring to me. It didn't look like a 10th place versus 6th place, put it that way. We said 2-2 because I think that the idea of they both have the same abilities and the same soft spots, that they may cancel each other out, but in the end they didn't. And 5-0 to Stockport. Well, we don't get anything for that one. And we go to our last game of the weekend, the Wigan versus Wycombe. Surely this one's a known result, isn't it? How did Wigan not win this one? 62% possession, 11 shots, 4 on target. I thought there was more than that. 38% possession to Wycombe, 8 shots. Okay. but 5 of them on target and 1 goal, and that's the difference. You see, 4 shots on target for Wigan, 5 for Wycombe. Yeah, Wycombe managed to win 1-0. Wigan really will be fuming over how close they were. There were some bloody good goalkeeping from Wycombe, weren't they? And the bar as well, or the crossbar that stopped them as well. Wigan just didn't matter what they were going to do. Something was going to stop them. And the fans will be really upset about this. That wasn't a game they should have lost. Not when you look at how they played and the number of class shots they had, and you think, nah, they should have been at least going in with a draw from that, surely. Wigan won. Wigan 0, Wycombe 1, and we thought it'd be a bigger win than that. We actually thought it'd be Wigan 0, Wycombe 4, and that we would just about see a Wigan side turn up, but not quite be all there. They did turn up, and they made sure that they gave a good show. It was one for the connoisseur. It was one for the neutral, but unfortunately for the Wigan fans, they just couldn't get that the run of the green. It just wasn't going to happen. The goalkeeper stopped it. The bar stopped it. Anything on earth stopped it. It just wouldn't go in the bloody net. I feel sorry for Wigan fans. I really do. However, Wycombe carry on marching, and they're clear at the top of League One. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Birmingham would draw to Northampton? Who would have thought Crawley and Huddersfield would be a draw? And who would have thought that Wycombe would march on 2 points clear of League One? Jon S Sports channel. Like and subscribe.